Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a complete guide for RelicKeeper, so let's get into it. Alrighty, RelicKeeper is going to be in the Sacred Order, and he is an epic with the Force Affinity. Now, the cool thing about RelicKeeper is he's going to do really well in the campaign, because when you're farming, you're usually going to farm at levels that you're gonna one-shot the opposing team for the most part, and he's able to snowball and keep going as long as he's getting kills. So we'll see here on his ability 1, grants an extra turn if the target is killed, so he can kill enemy 1, kill enemy 2, kill enemy 3, kill enemy 4. Just go boom, 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 wipe them out and go on to the next wave, and the enemy team doesn't get to do anything. So that's kind of the redeeming quality of RK, we call him for short. His ability here, Surging Strength, place a 50% increase attack buff on this champion for 4 turns and grants an extra turn. So what that means is it doesn't waste his turn to do that. And you can get this cooldown down to 4 really easily. It's just 2 books right here to get that, and as long as it hits it. If there's not like other things blocking it and you don't get to cooldown until like 6 or 7, you can get to it right away. The passive is when hit by an enemy, places a 15% continuous heal buff on this champion for 2 turns. This is really cool for farming the campaign because it means he doesn't necessarily have to wear the lifesteal set. He can kind of sustain himself enough to finish the level, even if he doesn't crit and one-shot a hero or something. It's going to be okay. He'll have a little bit of sustain. And then his aura is just incredible for the campaign. A 40% increased attack buff in campaign battles. He is definitely a campaign specialist, and he's really good for farming hard and brutal to get you XP and farm food for your champion army. Now, the general build style for RelicKeeper is you're going to want 100% crit, so you're going to want tons of crit and crit damage and attack percent. You're going to want him to hit extremely hard. You don't want to play RelicKeeper defensively. And actually, I'll show you this little image I made. I'll have this down in the video description if you want to pull it up or anything. And then I'm going to kind of go over this stuff in detail during the video. But yeah, this has got kind of the priorities of stats that you're going to want on him, and then the masteries that I would suggest. The offense and defense tree are the one that I would recommend because of this ability here. I'll go over that when I go over the masteries. And then the ones in red over here are the support tree that I would recommend to go with if you choose not to go down the defense route. If you want to do support instead, these are the ones I would recommend. And obviously you're going to do offense. There's no choice in that one. So that goes over that. And then if I pull him up here, I'll show you how I have mine kind of geared. And first, I guess, let me do a campaign battle. I'll do a campaign battle with him. So that looks good. Okay. And I'll show you kind of how he works when I talk about kind of snowballing and why you want him to hit hard. So you see all these hits are going to be crits. It's because I have 100% crit on him. And that's very important because it's going to mean that you're able to do this, and it's going to be consistent snowballing. You're not going to have those farming matches where you don't get crits and now it slows you down, or maybe even doesn't finish the level. So it's just going to be consistent critting, hitting hard, doing lots of damage. That character actually has an ability that makes them unkillable, so that character always takes 2 hits to kill. And then boom, farms the level in 30 seconds, one-shotting them all except for the one that had the special ability. So that's kind of the gist of farming with RelicKeeper, and that's why you want him to be kind of a glass cannon. You don't want to play him defensively with like the lifesteal set, in my opinion. You want him to hit as hard as possible. And I'll also pull up this. This is a battle that I did in the arena, and it'll kind of show you the mechanic of how RK can even be good in the arena. You can set him up to attack last, so you have your heroes that do AoE, and now the enemy team has 3 people left, and then you'll see RelicKeeper just come in and clean it up. So as long as he's hitting hard and getting kills, he's able to clean it up. So there's that. Let me minimize this. So that kind of, now I've showed you kind of the campaign and the arena. The campaign, you just want him to hit extremely hard, crit. That way he can snowball. In the arena, you want him to go either third or fourth. I have him set up to go fourth. That way I have my character that boosts everybody's damage. Then I have my 2 AoE hitters, and then RelicKeeper cleans up anything that's left after that. So I have him go last and kind of clean everything up and make sure I'm going to win the battle. And then as far as gear, so you're going to want crit chance primarily until you get to 100 crit rate, and then you start looking for other stuff like crit damage, obviously, because if you're critting 100% of the time, crit damage is just a flat damage increase because it's happening every time. And so for armor, helm, and shield, they always roll the same main stat. Weapon always rolls attack, helm always rolls HP, shield always rolls defense. So that's not going to change very much. But like, this is a really good weapon because it's got attack percent, crit damage, which I'm at 100% crit, and HP percent is nice to have because his heal is based on his max HP. So HP percent's actually pretty good for RelicKeeper. It's going to make his heal a little bit stronger in things like the arena or in dungeons or wherever you're using him. On the helm, same thing. It's always going to have HP, but then you want crit rate, attack percent, stuff like that in the substats. On the shield, the accuracy doesn't really matter. I need a better shield. I was looking for the right words to say, but yeah, the shield is not optimal. But I wanted to be able to wear this divine crit rate set because of this chest piece. So I just had to go with the best kind of shield I had to make everything kind of fit. So that's my weakest piece for sure. But this armor is really good. It's got the crit rate, the crit damage, the 50% attack percent, and it's 5 stars. So I wanted to be able to wear that. The bottom ones, you're definitely gonna want gloves with crit rate. That's basically mandatory. You're gonna want to get this 50% crit rate on your gloves, and then everything else is gravy. Yeah, you would want, you know, attack percent, crit damage, you know, speed is great. You know, speed's always good in this game. It can't hurt to have speed. The armor we kind of went over, but yeah, it's very important to get this attack percent as the main stat. And then boots, RK is one of the ones that can kind of go either way. In general, you're going to want speed as the main stat on your boots, but with him, if you're only using him in the campaign, it can also be viable to put attack percentage in this slot instead of speed. Now, these boots are pretty good because they have both. They have the speed and the attack percent, so that's really good. And then, you know, same thing on your jewelry. I would actually want a better one. I would like to have one that had attack here instead of defense, and then also have attack percent or, you know, crit damage or something. But yeah, that's kind of the general artifacts you would want to use, and I have those listed here on this photo that's in the description. These are the optimal sets you want to have on this guy. Divine crit rate, divine offense, and crit damage are going to be the stats you want on him in general. Now I will go over the masteries really quick. Okay, the first one is an obvious choice. You're gonna want crit rate for sure. That's no-brainer. Then we're gonna slide down here to crit damage. Again, that's a no-brainer. And then on mine, I would recommend sliding over to here. Increase damage inflicted by 5% when attacking with full HP, because when you're farming the campaign, you're probably gonna have full HP most of the time. So that's just a flat 5% damage buff. Then we're going to go down here to increase speed by 6 for each enemy killed by this champion. Stacks across each round. Excuse me. Not really that impactful for him, but there isn't really a better choice in my opinion. And then we slide over to this one. Increase damage inflicted by 8% for the first hit on each enemy. That's really good for a campaign farmer. Then we go to this one, a 30% chance of decreasing the cooldown of a random skill by 1 turn if the damage inflicted by this skill exceeds 30% of the target's max HP, which RK is going to be doing a lot of the time. So that's not like super GG for him or anything, but it's the route to go. Then slide over to this one, increase damage inflicted by 5% for each dead ally. Again, that's good for the campaign because it's going to stack for them, and also maybe even for the arena. You know, if they get if you have the RK going last, the enemy team gets a couple abilities off, boom. If there's a couple dead allies of yours, it's going to help his damage out. Then we go down to... oh yeah, this is the tier I'm on. Okay. Place a shield buff on this champion for 1 turn. When this champion kills an enemy, the value of the shield is equal to 15% of this champion's max HP. Helpful there. This one increased damage inflicted by 6% in the arena and 3% in all other locations for each enemy killed, and it stacks up to 12%. So again, just a flat damage buff. We don't really want to go with Giant Slayer on RK, so we're instead going to take this crit damage plus 20% if we're able to max out his offense tree. And then I recommend going down the defense tree just because of this ability. A 50% chance to counterattack when this champion loses 25% of their max HP. That's going to make him really good in some dungeons or in the arena. You know, that's a really good ability because with RK, once we get him to start attacking, we have a chance of him snowballing. So this is a chance to get him to start attacking. You know, so to a counterattack for a hard-hitting enemy like RK, that's a really good ability to have. The other ones that I recommend are just, you know, take the defense, take the heal because of RK's continuous heal buff. Slide down to this one, heal the champion by 10% of their max HP when they kill a target. Decent. And then this reduce the damage the champion receives from a specific enemy by 0.75. With each hit taken from that enemy, stacks up to 6%. I don't think that's super impactful, but it's just kind of a stepping stone to get us to here, to Retribution, and it's better than this one, obviously, the other choice. So, the support tree, this I recommend doing the other one to get the counterattack, doing the defense to get this one. But if you do, take the HP because his heal is based on HP. Do this one because it's going to increase the value of his heal. Do this one because a 30% to increase turn meter by 10% when a buff cast by this champion is removed or expired, and the RK buffs himself with the attack, so it's just going to kind of help you out a little bit there. And then this is kind of a cool ability, increases set bonus, basic artifact set by 15%, multiplicative, not additive, so, you know, that's a pretty decent ability for RK, and there could be an argument to go with that one instead of the counterattack, but I do like that counterattack ability for a hard-hitting hero like RK. And then after this one, we would slide down to this one, increase speed by 8 for each dead ally. I struggle to find where that would be like super impactful because you don't really need it when farming the campaign, like because he's gonna snowball. It'd be good for a hero that doesn't snowball like RK. That would be really good, but for him, you know, regenerating his own turn on kill, I don't think it's as impactful. So yeah, and then I have this all drawn up here for you to kind of see the masteries that I would recommend going with on the RK. So yeah, I think he is definitely a hero worth doing the fusion and investing in and getting him up to 5 or maybe even 6 stars. He's even really good in dungeons and versus the clan boss in mid game, so you're gonna get a lot of utility out of him. Yeah, that's gonna kind of do it for this video. Excuse me, sorry, my voice has been kind of bothering me the last couple days, but yeah, this is my first kind of video about a specific hero guide, so definitely let me know if there's anything that I should do differently or anything I could do better. I would love to hear the input and do a better job with my next hero guide. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.